time comes, floods rise. For many communities across the Nile Basin, just a few hours warning can mean the difference between safety and loss. In Awasi and Sotik in Kenya's Rift Valley, these memories are real. Families here have faced the full force of sudden, destructive and unpredictable flash floods. This is where the flash floods early warning system comes in. FFEWS is a regional tool designed to give timely alerts when flood risks are high. It combines rainfall data, river levels, and modern technology to predict where floods may strike and when.
My name is Millie Boliro. I'm the Water Resources Officer at Nile Cooperation based in Kigali, and I coordinate a project which has a thematic area concerned with flood and drought risk mitigation. In this thematic area, I spearheaded the development of a flash flood early warning system for Nile Basin countries so that we enhance preparedness of communities to manage such disasters. Our aim is to support the officers which are in charge of providing early warning information by providing them with accurate information that they can use to prepare the communities so that we reduce on the risk and the damage that comes with such related disasters.
On our field visit to Awasi and Sotik, we assessed the system's usability and heard directly from the communities who live with this risk every rainy season.
Here we have a major river known as Kipsonoi, which is starting from Mau, flowing towards Lake Victoria. We experience flood, especially on April and August. So during this time, we mostly experience floods, whereby you find most of bridges flooding. We have a bridge here at Sotik, which is a bridge between Bomet County and Kericho County. Also, we have another bridge known as Kambala, another bridge which is almost to Sondu. We mostly experience heavy flooding in that area. And also, when you come to this upper side, we have in this Bomet County, mostly this area is flat, unlike Kericho County, whereby it is somehow rifty, but when you come to this side, it's mostly flat. So this is just a flat land, a plateau, whereby it mostly flood, especially in those seasons.
We've experienced floods, especially along the rivers. When it floods, for example, in the rivers, it's hard because sometimes we take our cattle to the rivers for them to take water. Taking the children from school, when you take them in the morning, it is a bit difficult because you have to go the other road. You cannot cross the river because it is flooded.
We've been experiencing flood, especially the rainy season, that is April and May. And when flooding occurs, we normally experience loss for those who are doing crop farming and those who are keeping livestock and those who are keeping poultry. Like we can remember during flooding, we normally lose our crops. They are swept away, especially those of us who are doing agriculture close to the river, because most of the floods normally happen as a result of the overflow of the river when there is too much rain upstream. In last year, the year 2024, I think it is one of the worst floods we have experienced in this region, because we experienced it 3 times. The river spilled over 3 times, May, April, and then again around November. So when it happened, we experienced a great loss. For those of us who are doing, like for me, I was doing some horticulture along the riverbank. The onions, they were swept away. As you know that onions, the roots normally they don't go deep. So the onions were swept away. And then we tried again over the December. The second phase also was swept away. So I really experienced a great loss. And sometimes maybe you are doing agriculture, you borrowed loans to work on, to use for agriculture. then it becomes very terrible. It is a huge loss.
Heavy flood we have experienced, it was in 2024, it was severe flash flood in Nyando. It affected us very much. We were displaced and our houses were swept away, crops were swept away.
This area is also prone to floods, particularly the flash floods that come from the hills, because we have Kericho down there. And when it joins the small rivers that we have, it brings in a lot of floods. And after those floods, we remain with the deep gullies formed in the area. So this place requires that after the floods that we have got, we must do soil erosion measures, conservation measures, particularly by using the gabions to cure the gullies so formed. Apart from that, where I come from in Ahero, we get a lot of water from uphill because River Nyando, where I'm in charge, is being fed by over 3 rivers. So all these 3 rivers come to Ahero. And when they come to Ahero, we find that on the lower part, we have floods. And we have to depend on these, what we call early warnings. The importance of the early warnings that it makes us to be aware that flood is coming. Me particularly, I was very much affected. When one time, without those warnings, I just found myself floating in water inside my house. Everywhere, including the bedrooms, was all water. It was very sad. In this area, normally we get floods during the long rains and short rains. The long rains starts from April, May up to June. Short rains from October, November time towards December. Those areas anytime flood can come.
Behind technology is constant dialogue. NELSAP continues working with community leaders, national agencies, and local users to gather feedback on the usability and effectiveness of the system.
We normally have alerts, especially when you are approaching these seasons of April and August. We normally have this alert, especially before this season, for the community preparedness, and as well during this season, and also after. So we mostly have alerts on that sequential manner. So it is just very useful in our society for the preparedness of the community.
We need to get adequate information in terms of early warning so that we could be prepared. Also, for those who are keeping livestock like goats and poultry farming, those who are keeping poultry, so that they can evacuate or they can move the poultry from lower regions to places which are raised.
With early warnings at us now, I'm a bit feeling safe concerning the early warnings which are being put in place right now.
The early warning system by the Nile Basin initiative has been very effective because we get the information and we disseminate that information to the people. Whenever we give out alerts, please let them move to the higher grounds. Even though we stay in plain land, we can move far away from the flood area. We can move further because we don't have higher grounds. But if we had higher grounds, then we can move to higher grounds.
The system is serving the entire Nile Basin. All the 10 countries through which Nile Basin has been formed under the Nile River passes are supposed to be beneficiaries from this network of the system. So not only Kenya, not only this part of Kenya, that we shall be reaching. This is the primary purpose of our coming, to make that follow-up and see if the beneficiaries intended for this system are really getting that notification, are really getting that early warning information about the likelihood of occurrence of the flooding.
Floods don't stop at borders. Communities share the same struggle. What we learn here in Kenya is shaping solutions for the entire Nile Basin. Regional cooperation is the heart of FFEWS, ensuring that information flows faster than flood waters.
One message that I would tell the Nile Basin countries is I encourage them to make use of this system. The system is one of its kind, using very good data, satellite, globally available data, and it's a good system so far. Well, it is performing well to forecast flash floods. I encourage countries to use it and add it to their disaster management efforts.
This system is more than technology. Where floods once brought fear and loss, FFEWS now brings timely alerts that turn fear into resilience. As governments and communities continue to embrace it, we hope that the FFEWS will save lives, protect livelihoods, and build resilience across the basin.